virtually.
Welcome back to the podcast. Heard it here. Pause. Eventually.
Right.
I don't got any intro. What do we? Well, I guess we're starting with a big titty this time because
It's always good to start with a big titty.
nice way to start your day.
It's a good way to end too. We got to keep that in mind.
True.
For the
Maybe
future,
we should
obviously.
end with a big titty sometimes. My big titty for the week is that we have gotten confirmation that there is going to be a Scott Pilgrim anime coming out with as far as I know, I don't remember every single actor, but as far as I know, every actor is coming back to reprise their role or to voice act their role from the 2010 film adaptation. Which amazing movie. I think I read the graphic novel at one point, which definitely left stuff out of the movie, which is fine because you're never going to adapt something one-to-one when it's like that. But this could potentially put in the stuff that the movie skipped, which would be cool.
Like what stuff?
I don't remember. I just remember there was stuff that was missed.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like the game was really fun. Scott Pilgrim was just awesome. I feel like this movie just awakened something in me as a child. Like some of these women are attractive. That's what me and my friend were talking about. Like I don't think I realized it at the time when I first watched the movie because I watched it probably too young. I don't know. It was 2010. I was, what's the math on that? 13. And then I watched it again recently, like in college, and I was like, wow, I think this movie awakened something in me. And yeah, so very excited to see this again. And I'm sure it's gonna be great. But yeah, that's my big titty. Sticking to it.
Also, I know I don't even remember. I saw the movie like twice. I know Michael Cera's the main person. I feel like the girl from the movie Sky High.
Sky High, hell yeah, that's a great movie.
The girl,
Yeah, she's Ramona.
Yeah. Okay.
She was the evil
feel
one
like
in Sky High.
Yeah. She was, spoiler alert. She was
yeah.
because she doesn't start out evil, but yeah. I feel like
Chris Evans
I've
was in
seen that
it.
actress. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I've seen that actress though randomly, like she's stayed in Hollywood. I don't know for sure though, because
Let's see. On her
I don't think that
Wikipedia
she's
page.
super prolific.
She was in Birds of Prey. Apparently, I never saw that movie, like the DCEU one, the Margot or the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She was the Huntress.
Yeah, the I was about to say the crossbow one. I don't
Mhm.
remember the names at all, but yeah, I was correct.
Yeah, there you go. She was
There
in
you go. One for
Abraham
me.
Lincoln Vampire Hunter as Mary Todd Lincoln.
Wow, I really want to see that movie. I remember at the time I was like, "What a fucking crazy, ridiculous movie," and I just never ended up seeing it. But I wanted to see it probably for the same reason you wanted to see Cocaine Bear, and I bet you it's probably like just as good and
Hell yeah.
entertaining.
But yeah, I think like
Besides
they're
Chris
definitely.
Evans, though,
Oh,
I can't
there's
remember who any
freaking
of the
Brie
can't remember who all the-
Larson is the singer girlfriend.
one of the bosses, right?
Yeah,
Because they're all different bosses, and I remember Chris Evans was like the hardcore boss or something. He was the one that seemed the toughest, I guess,
and yeah,
to overcome.
and then freaking Aubrey Plaza is in it. I think she's the sister, right? No,
I don't remember. Yeah,
but Aubrey
didn't
Plaza's
remember
in
she
it.
was in it.
Freaking Anna Kendrick is in it. Brandon Routh is in it. Either him or Chris Evans is the vegan, who they get special powers because they're vegan.
Pretty sure that it wasn't Chris Evans for
Then
that
it was.
one.
Then I think it was Brandon Routh for that.
I gotta like look up who. Can't picture this guy.
Brandon Routh was Superman at one point.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the vegan one.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I forgot about him. Yeah, the guy who had the role before Henry Cavill, so he's pales in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And his long hair, Bobby Long from Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Never saw
The
it.
one who Miri was in. Oh my god, that was a funny movie. I'm surprised you haven't seen that. That's Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks movie.
I came out when I was too young. My mom wouldn't let me go see it.
Yeah, it was when I was in college. It was probably around the same time as Scott Pilgrim, because I remember Scott Pilgrim came out when I was in college too.
Oh.
Because I'm like 6 or 7 years older than you. Disgustingly.
Crazy. Um, um, but yeah, so all these actors are coming back, which is insane because you would think like even with Marvel's What If, I don't think Chris Evans voiced. Maybe he did. I know Robert Downey Jr. didn't, but they got a great impersonator for that, and same with Tom
hmm
Holland. Um, but I don't know if Chris Evans did that. And like so sometimes you hear about these actors and you think that maybe they're too good for animation. So it's cool to see that they're all coming back for this.
I don't think there's very many actors that think that anymore. I mean, they must see the difference, right? Like, I think I've mentioned it before how Paul Bettany was like, "You guys really want me to be on
Yeah.
camera now?" Because he would do like one day to all of the Jarvis lines,
Mm-hmm.
and he got a huge paycheck for one day's work in a sound studio. He didn't have to. He could be home for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, so animation is like that. It's more like a animation is more like just a regular day job because you can do it in any sound studio on the
Mm-hmm.
planet. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's more like having a day job for an actor than it is, going on location and having like an actor job.
Um, there's no release date for this yet, but it does say when it was announced March 30th, which was 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Um, when it was posted on social media, it was also posted that its release was imminent. So I'm surprised if it is imminent, then that there was no release date. Because also all that they said in March was that it had been greenlit, which makes me think it's not even been working on yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he meant by imminent.
Maybe they meant production is going to start imminently or something.
Yeah.
Like work on it is imminent. I don't know.
Um.
It's like soon TM from any game studio.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, great movie, great series. So I'm sure this is gonna be awesome. But yeah, my big titty.
hmm Well, then I'll do mine. So my big titty was pretty sure it happened this week that we're recording it.
Yeah.
Might have been like 8 days ago or something. Um, but they did the Tears of the Kingdom, like Nintendo Direct, or maybe it wasn't called that. It was like a special event or something.
Yeah.
Where they showed off 10 minutes of gameplay, and it looks fucking cool. I loved Breath of the Wild. I loved it. And it's a little weird to have an actual direct sequel where you're in the same world in Zelda.
Yeah.
Because even if you talk
Besides, like,
about Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, total different world. You're in totally different town. It doesn't even seem
yeah,
like fucking Hyrule. Um, so I didn't really know how they were gonna do it. They said right at the beginning of the video, or at the beginning of the direct, that the world has changed dramatically and they can't go over all the changes. So they hope that like players will find it. It's like, yeah, no shit. I mean,
yeah,
um, but it looks like the big addition is the Sky Island. So kind of reminds me of Skyward Sword, which I didn't play, but I watched Blow Ps of.
yeah.
I
I
just didn't
this has
like the
been on
Wii
my this has been
controls.
on my desk. For audio listeners, it's the HD edition of on Switch of Skyward
Skyward
Sword.
Sword.
It's been on my desk since it came out, which I don't even know when it was. I've never touched it. I really need to just sit down and play it. They got
If
rid of the
anyone,
controls on it.
if anyone from his stream is here, redeem it.
Yeah, redeem it so
Force
I
him
could
to
just
play
play it. God damn it!
it. I mean, you
Too
could
many
just choose to.
games.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
say
there is definitely too many.
I'm definitely I love the game. I need to preface that. I loved Breath of the Wild. I think it was very fun. I'm in the minority, I think, of people. I love Zelda or Dungeon to Dungeon Zelda games. Open world it's awesome. It's just so overwhelming for me because I get so distracted in all these games. I loved like Wind Waker is like peak Zelda for me.
Mhm.
And like I just because it was like open world, but it wasn't because you could sail to all these islands and you still felt like you were exploring at time to time, but the plot was just dungeon. When there's all these
Mhm.
freaking what are they called? The mini dungeon shits that you put
Shrines.
the shrines. So many shrines. There's all these shits that I get distracted by, and there is a plot, but I felt so overwhelmed and I felt like I was missing so much shit in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I liked I both liked it and disliked it by comparison to the others. So Well, first off, I think there's a lot of people that are gonna say Ocarina of Time. There's a lot of people that are gonna say Wind Waker, still the best too. I personally think Breath of the Wild is the best one, but I haven't played that much Zelda. I'm not like this hardcore Zelda. I've played every single game. I've played Ocarina of Time. I've played Wind Waker. I've played
Hmm.
Breath of the Wild. I played some of Majora's Mask. I didn't like it that much.
Majora's
I
Mask
didn't
just
like the
stretches
time
it.
thing.
It stresses the fuck out of me because it's like if I'm in a dungeon, can I just die and game over because time is going, or does time stop in the dungeon? Or also when you
Nah, it
reset
doesn't.
time, like how the fuck is the money still in the bank? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it. I didn't like the concept of it very much. I also didn't like Skull Kid. I
Yeah.
didn't like him at all, and I didn't really like the concept of the masks either.
Hmm.
Like wearing like so many different masks and stuff. I don't know. It wasn't for me. I know some people fucking love Majora's Mask. Um, but so I like the shrines. I think there's was a ton of them, and they kind of had the oh god, I can't remember what the hell they're called. The four big ones, the spirit
Oh,
like
just like the
automated things.
dungeons.
Yeah, the ones that
Yeah.
were supposed to be like actual dungeons, and
Like
it
you would
was
go into like an
cool.
animal almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like like an animatronic animal.
Yeah.
And they were cool. A lot of the times, I felt like getting onto the animal was more fun than doing the puzzles and stuff within the animal
Yeah.
and doing the control things within the animal. They're all I think shorter than real dungeons from other Zelda games.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
They're less complex, but and also I don't know, they just weren't quite as fun. And the bosses, yeah, they were different, but they weren't really as different as
They
bosses from
didn't have
other.
like
They were
different
just spirits
designs.
of Ganon.
Yeah. Like all of them
Yeah.
had the same design and they just had different abilities.
Yeah, so I love Breath of the Wild. I think it's my favorite Zelda game ever. I really enjoyed exploring the world, going up like to the highest fucking peak and getting one of those towers to fill in the map, and then going down, uh, having to scrounge up a couple of those goddamn lizards that I would never see in time in order to make the Gerudo gear or whatever it was. Not Gerudo, that's the desert people. Or not Korok. Oh my god, the ones that turn into balls and roll around. The hot place,
Goron.
Goron.
Yeah.
Like the Goron gear of this game, although you couldn't even exist in this area without this gear. I liked the way the gear would affect like the temperature and
Yeah.
whether you could survive in the temperature for longer or just be completely fine. And I don't know, I just like a game where you can go from zone to zone, like from the desert to winter mountainy area to like just a lush plains, flat Greenland to to like the coast.
Hmm.
So I like the world that they built. Is I guess what I really liked. Some things that could have definitely been improved. Quality of life, like cooking. Just let me make like 100 dishes at once instead of having to do it every single
Yeah.
fucking time and things like that. But the changes that they made, or I don't know if the changes that they made will fix any of that stuff, but they made cool changes. It's like where are you going to go from here? But they did stuff now that it makes it seem like it is going to be very unique compared to Breath of the Wild. Maybe not the world itself,
Weapon
but
durability is
the
back,
powers.
which is unfortunate. I hate weapon durability so much.
Yeah, but I'm sure Master Sword will be in there, the auto recharging, like the
Yeah, but
recharging
that's the thing. You still
Master
gotta
Sword.
wait for it to recharge. You're probably not gonna get it to like the end of the game.
Yeah.
I just hate weapon durability because I find a weapon I really like and then it's just gone in like a couple hits.
Well, I mean, if you got the Hyrule Shield from Hyrule Castle in the first one, its durability was like 900, and the
Yeah,
other closest thing was 50.
yeah.
The shield just never broke. So maybe there will be a couple of weapons like that. But I think they basically, from what the video looked like, they have that fuse ability, and if you have a weapon and it's about to break, you can just fuse it with something, and it basically resets the durability.
Oh,
So I don't think that the thing is, I don't know if you can unfuse weapons. I don't remember.
yeah. Because like if
Even
you
if you
fuse
can,
like let's say you
would it
fuse
break?
the arrow with the eye or whatever, like you were talking about. Spoilers. We're gonna
You have to
talk
do that
about that.
each time.
Yeah.
You have to do that each time. It
So
looks
like, but
like.
like let's say I fuse like an eye with my sword and then I have like an eye sword, whatever the fuck, and then the eye sword is about to break. Can I fuse an eye sword with something else, or would I need to if unfusing is possible, would I need to unfuse back to a basic sword and then
Hmm.
refuse with something else? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out. Like, I don't think they're. I guess they're not. They didn't go into that kind of depth. They just said fusing was
Yeah.
available, and like you can create a raft to go across the water, and so you don't have to use your endurance for swimming. You can create like a sky, almost like an airship, like from Avengers, and you can kind of go up
The
through the
cars are a
sky
little
and
weird,
stuff.
I will say. It's like weird to have a car in Zelda.
Yeah, I never played the DLC, so I never had like the bike.
Yeah, I
You know,
didn't
they
either.
released the bike in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know the controls of it at all. So I guess we'll see in this one. It seems like, but you can create like what on the car. You can just add a bunch of stuff. You can probably add like a battering ram and just plow through some enemies or
It
something.
just
It looks
reminds
like.
me, so like there's almost like a genre of games that have been coming out. Like one semi popular one is like Craftopia, and it just feels like a Breath of the Wild clone, but it's like Breath of the Wild, but it's also Minecraft, but it's also like Pokemon, but it also has guns, and it also has like alchemy fusion, like
Hmm.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and it almost feels like to like a small degree that Nintendo themselves is doing that, like with like the car building, and imagine
Yeah,
like, oh, there's gonna be a creature collection aspect of the game. Like, I just hope it's
yeah.
very limited, so it doesn't feel overwhelming.
I just hope it's not required because I feel like you should be able to get by with just. I guess that you could argue that one of the powers is the ability to create, but I was gonna say that I would want to be able to get by in the world just with my raw natural powers and not have to build certain things and not have to
Yeah,
fuse certain items. I understand now that we're going to be hunting instead of just fish, there's going to be birds.
yeah,
I understand you have to shoot them. So I understand having to fuse the eye with the arrow, which is how you turn it into basically a heat seeker, which is cool. I like that aspect of
yeah.
it. I don't like the aspect of it where it's like do it every single time individually. I want to be able to make like a quiver of homing arrows that I
Yeah.
could use. It's kind of like oh god, which one did this? It was I think it was with oh my god, with Midna.
Twilight
With
Princess.
Twilight Princess. I think it was Twilight Princess where you could fuse onto your arrows bombs or a few other things and it would turn the entire set of arrows you had into that until you chose a different arrow. Like until you
Um,
went back and put the arrows back on your
I w-
hotkeys.
I want to say that Ocarina of Time did that though.
Well, some Zelda did it.
Yeah.
I want a system that's more like that. I don't want to have to go in and if I have 10 eyeballs, I don't want to fuse it 10 times every time I'm pulling my bowstring back.
Or
Like
it better
that will
be like
get tedious
spammable
to me.
instantaneous, not like a confirm button and
Yeah, or and as soon as you go to fuse it, it should start right at the eyeball and not back at the beginning of the list of
yeah,
your inventory or whatever. I don't want to have to go into my inventory and manage what slot they're in to make it faster for myself
yeah,
because that's the stuff that slows you down and just makes it feel not as fun. I mean, it's Nintendo. It's a first party Nintendo title. There's a good chance it's going to be just, tens across the board for most reviewers and like eights and above for most actual people,
yeah.
humans who critique games based on how they like to play and not based on, hey, it's
Listen,
Nintendo.
I
Hell
don't
yeah.
trust any reviewers anymore after they gave One Piece Odyssey like a fucking 8 or something. I don't even remember. And then they gave SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake a 5. I don't trust
Five.
anyone anymore.
He's talking specifically about IGN. So let's, he doesn't trust
Listen,
IGN
I
specifically.
got beef with everyone. I was thinking about that recently.
Hmm.
I need to calm down on the beef.
I also, just to finish off the, the Tears of the Kingdom thing, I wonder what the story's going to be like. I don't think we've gotten really much at all about the story.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be your basic Zelda. Ganon's back. I kind of hope he's not. I think it'd be really cool if
They
like it
should
was a
introduce a new
different dude.
villain.
Yeah,
It should be a new villain because they
freaking
literally this hero just defeated Ganon.
yeah.
You can't tell me that he's back already because then what the hell, what are you fighting for?
I don't. Let's be
Link's
real.
not even
I don't
older.
even
It's
know
not
the
like he's
difference
old man
between.
Link.
I don't even know the difference between Ganondorf and Ganon. But like, give me Ganondorf. That'd be cool. Twilight Princess
Yeah,
was
the
cool as
human
shit.
incarnation,
That was
the Gerudo
Ganondorf.
incarnation or
Yeah.
something. I think. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think all of the Zelda games that had Ganondorf are better than the Zelda games that have Ganon. Now that I'm thinking about it, you got Twilight Princess,
Including Smash Brothers,
Smash Brothers.
including Smash
You
Brothers.
got uh Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker. I don't know if I said Twilight Princess, but Twilight Princess.
You did,
Oh,
you
okay.
did.
And there you
I
go.
think
Those are the goats for me.
I can't remember if A Link to the Past had Ganondorf or just straight Ganon.
I think it had
That might have been
Ganon, if I'm remembering
I feel
correctly.
like yeah, then Ocarina of Time must have been the first introduction of Ganondorf
Yeah, I think it was.
because it was the first like 3D one, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I think the greats are the ones that have Ganondorf usually. I mean, I also like A Link to the Past. That's either my second or third favorite,
Yeah. I've never
with
finished it,
Ocarina
but
of
I
Time
remember I
or Wind
liked it.
Waker is above Ocarina of Time for me. Ocarina of Time is just so dated at this point for me, so it's
Yeah.
hard for me to. But I mean, A Link to the Past is on Super Nintendo, but that's a different class of game. Like we're still playing 3D games. When we go to VR, then it's like you can think of 3D games as like they are all bucketed together right now. It's like 2D games are all just their own beast, and we're
Yeah.
still in the time of 3D. So I compare Ocarina of Time to Breath of the Wild. It just has to happen,
Yeah.
which is an unfair comparison, but I can't break the association in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. Story wise, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but the story's never really seemed all that important in a Zelda game. It's never been like the driving force
Yeah.
because Zelda came out on NES when the story was text boxes
Mm-hmm.
that no one read. Everyone just wanted to do the dungeons because it was a fun ass game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um.
that's my BT.
All right. Mine's gonna be quick. I just need to talk real quick about my fucking beef. Talking about more beef with Xbox on Twitter. I got into Twitter beef with Xbox. They responded to me. Bunch of bitches. They tweeted. PC Game Pass tweeted, retweet if you like PC games or have a small dog named Luna. I said, hey, actually, my friend sent it to me. He sent me the tweet. He said, hey, you have a small dog named Luna? You should respond to them. Because then Microsoft Store responded to PC Game Pass. They said, can we see Luna eye emoji? I said, yeah, you can see Luna. And I shot my shot. I tweeted at them. And I said, I sent a picture of my dog. Very beautiful dog. I ratioed them. They have 8 likes on their tweet. I have 10. And I have less than 1,000 views than them on their tweet. So I successfully ratioed them. I said, all she wants for Easter, because that's the closest holiday I can think of, is a new Xbox Series X. And guess who responded to me? PC Game Pass. They said, who could say no to that face? Apparently you can, PC Game Pass, because no one reached out to me and offered me a free Xbox Series X. And this is why I've always been a Sony fanboy. And this is why I'll always be a Sony fanboy in the future. Because I responded to them, and might I add, I ratioed them again. And I said, I tweeted at Microsoft Store, at Xbox, the almighty PC Game Pass has given Luna their blessing. Your move now. My DMs are open. And I never got a DM. Actually, I did get a DM message request from some crypto scammer. And I thought it was them for a split second. I was very disappointed. And that's probably why I'm more angry.
You gotta love the timing of the scammers. They strike. They strike at the perfect moment.
But I just think this is a bunch of bullshit and I deserve a free Xbox Series X. So if this podcast ever pops off and we're getting thousands and thousands of views, everyone tweet at Xbox, Microsoft, everyone get me. Tell them at Vinny Bats TV on Twitter deserves a free Xbox Series X.
Yeah, dig up this by then archaic tweet and just bring it back up to the
Bring
surface.
it back. I don't care if
What
it's in 5
happened
years.
here? Yeah, it's down on a sponsorship opportunity, Xbox. You could have converted us from Sony
Listen,
fanboys.
you could still convert me. I'm gonna be honest. I'll take some money. I just think that I got too much beef. I think I'm an angry person. I need to work on that. One of our titles was my beef with James Cameron. I still stand by that. I got beef with Xbox now. I had beef 2 minutes ago with Nintendo or whatever the fuck I was talking about. Too much beef.
Yeah,
I just need to calm down.
Normally, I'd be the one with beef too. It's funny.
Yeah.
Normally, you're like, you'd think that you would be the non-beef person. I'd have beefs with everybody. I mean, I got a beef with James Gunn.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Well, you're not fucking, but
well, I'm furious still, and I will be until the day I die. But
I just hope like that this dude, whoever is Superman, is just the best fucking actor anyone's ever fucking seen, just so that like you will be the one person on earth who hates him. Like, because if he sucks, then your point is proven. And I was giving him the benefit of the doubt when I shouldn't have been.
even if he's good, it's still gonna be a comparison. He's gonna have to be better
That's what I'm saying.
and
Like, yeah,
fit the mold better than Henry Cavill, which seems impossible. But we'll see.
yeah.
5 year, maybe in 5 years when a movie finally comes out, I'll have calmed down. We'll
Also,
see.
tomorrow, I guess, this is breaking news. Breaking news. It wasn't on the schedule. Um, tomorrow the trailer for Blue Beetle comes out.
What
Which
season is that on now?
season?
Isn't Blue Beetle like? Oh no, I'm
Wait,
thinking
you're
of the
thinking Blue
Tick.
Lock?
I'm
Oh
thinking of the Tick. Sorry.
no, Blue Beetle is a DC movie.
Okay.
Um, which like again, if we don't know what's gonna happen in Flash, if this movie and this actor and everything that happens in the movie is gonna happen in the DCU and he comes back, wonderful. If not, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I
But
mean, you have Zachary Levi having meltdowns on Twitter about
it's
the Shazam
crazy.
2 stuff, and it's like, I mean, what did you expect? That honestly, James Gunn should have probably waited for his announcement. Like, he should have just taken all the heat and waited for some of these movies, like at least for Shazam, like the one that was close.
Yeah.
Find like a 6 month gap between DC EU releases and make your announcement. He really kind of screwed over Shazam 2 the
Yeah.
hardest because it
Like
was the next one after his
it's
announcement.
like this dude was on Twitter saying, "Go see this movie instead of John Wick 4." What the fuck? No. This is John Wick we're talking about. This is
Yeah.
Lance Reddick's last performance we're talking about. I'm not gonna go see Shazam 2.
And Keanu Reeves is just an all around outstanding guy.
Yeah. They
So
also in the promos, that's the other thing. Is it like we can blame James Gunn? I'd say even a majority, 51% we can blame him. They're showing Wonder Woman for Shazam 2 in the promos. Should that not be a cool cameo when the movie comes out that I'm like, "Oh, cool, Gal Gadot's in this movie."
mm-hmm.
Like it's
Yeah.
just insane. You're dumb. You're
And he's complaining and then he's complaining about The Rock like blocking certain actors from being in their cameo roles and stuff, right? Like he was
yeah.
supposed to get invited into whatever the league thing is by Hawkman and someone else, and then instead they had to change it because The Rock was like, "No, they're in my movie."
Yeah. And then
I mean, maybe it's true, but
he was also like, which at this point I guess is fine to say, but he was like, you think we wanted a headless Superman in Shazam 1 post credit scene? Like, no, but like no one's even talking about that anymore.
yeah.
That's old news. Like, focus on the stuff now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you just got screwed.
Yeah.
You got screwed by honestly, I mean, everyone got screwed by WB executives that had honchos there.
Yeah.
They screwed almost everyone, it sounds like. And it's maybe The Rock ended up screwing a couple of people by taking over complete creative control of the
Yeah.
movie and like bullying the studio into making certain choices, I guess. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's an actor, and the studio executives outrank him when it
Yeah.
comes to decisions. So if they got bullied by him, that's more on them, I think, than really on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you really want, like if he was bullying you too much, recast him.
Yeah.
No actor is unrecastable except for Henry Cavill. But like I mean, if you really have that many creative differences, maybe it means that the project is not something that you should do. I personally like Black Adam, but I think especially now that it's not going to be part of the DCU, I could live without it, of
Yeah.
course.
Like I think
So.
it's for some of these, barring Henry Cavill, it's if it happened in the DCEU and it's not canon and the actor changes, who cares? If it does, if it did happen in the DCEU and history also repeated itself in the DCU and this movie's canon and this actor's canon, cool. Like it doesn't matter, I don't think.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, I think it's a shame that most of the movies aren't standing on their own merit at this
yeah.
point because of all this behind the scenes stuff
But I think also
that's
this is
happening.
just like a like we're definitely not in the peak of superhero movies as a whole right now. Like Marvel's fine, but it's not like Endgame level what we're seeing right now. So it's I think we're just like in a low for superheroes as a whole. And we'll get back up to that high eventually. I'm confident of it.
Yeah, I don't think superhero movies are going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
So they're
Speaking
way
of
too
that,
mainstream now.
apparently it's not just Blue Beetle that's getting a trailer this week. getting a Blue Beetle trailer. We're getting an Across the Spider-Verse trailer, which is amazing. We're getting a Secret Invasion trailer, which is coming out in June. I
I
want to say
did
Disney
just see
Plus,
that. I
and
didn't.
then
I did just see news about that.
we're getting a Barbie trailer, which I have
Oh
strong
yeah.
feelings about Barbie because my friend, I'm not gonna out him right now, but I will out him when the movie comes out and I say I told you so. He's convinced that Barbie is gonna be in, I don't remember what number. He might have said top 10 movies of all time, and he's not being sarcastic. He's like, this director, this cast, it will be in the top 10 movies of all time. I'm
Who's
like,
even playing Barbie?
it's Margot Robbie.
Oh, that's probably all right.
No, but he's
Yeah.
not a simp or anything. Like, but he is a simp for Ryan Gosling, and Ryan Gosling is
Ken.
Ken.
Mm.
And then Shang-Chi is also in the movie. I
Hmm.
don't know what he's playing.
I don't know any of. I don't know any Barbie lore besides Barbie and Ken.
Me
So
neither. That's why
yeah,
I
that's
can't see this being the best movie of all time or top 10, whatever. But
yeah.
well,
You never know. I guess. You never know, but yeah, it's hard to imagine a property like Barbie being the top 10.
exactly. Imagine being in film class and they're like, "All right, kids, today we're studying Barbie." Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Um,
the greatest movie of all time.
but
The
yeah,
thing that no one's ever come back to, the peak, the pinnacle of entire entertainment media, Barbie the
exactly.
movie.
Um, but yeah, out of those four, by far most hyped for Across the Spider Verse. First film was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, I really like the first one a lot.
Probably like my top animated movie of all time. Um,
I don't know if I'd say that for myself. I'd have to actually think on it. I can't deny it. I just can't.
I don't
But
know if I would be including anime, but maybe like US anime. Um,
mm,
but Secret Invasion's also cool. I'm excited to see Sam Jackson back, Nick Fury, and Khaleesi is in this show, which is very fun.
mm,
Um, so yeah, cool trailers. I'm sure one of those will be my big titty next week.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
I already know what mine is next week. Probably depends on how much I like the movie this week, or if I see John Wick also this week.
all right, right, right.
But because I'm going to see Dungeons and Dragons later today, the movie
Tonight.
in IMAX. Just
Wow,
the time that worked the best. There's also, you know what? I wanted to ask you a question, and this probably wouldn't really be podcast topic, but fuck it. This is what we do. This is our conversation in
tangents.
life. Um, so I haven't been to this movie theater in a while. It was the first AMC that had like a Dolby theater, which was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like IMAX, but with sound
Mm-hmm.
also involved. There was timings for something called laser at AMC. Have you ever heard of this? Do you know what
Oh,
kind of quality this is at all? Like, have they
see.
upped their game even further? Is this like IMAX on
It
steroids,
says
but also
our state of the art picture quality just got better, now showing even more with brilliant brightness, dynamic detail, and crystal clear contrast with laser at AMC.
God, now I'm gonna have to see some movie I really like. I'm gonna have to see it in regular and I'm gonna have to see it in laser to
And
figure
see if
out
it
if it's
really made a
actually worth
difference. Yeah.
paying that much money for movies that I really want to see, like like a Marvel movie, like
Yeah.
like Secret Wars or Kang's whatever.
It just says, because now I'm on Reddit, and someone said it's just replacing digital. I don't know what that means.
Okay,
Isn't all movies digital?
I guess that I think maybe it's like the type of projector. So it used to be a
Hmm.
projector that was film, then it went to the digital projector, and it was just like like everything else, just probably connected to the internet, showed trailers, and they could change it dynamically.
Yeah.
So I guess now it's like a different type of projector, maybe, and maybe it's like cripplingly expensive, so they have it in one theater at a time, and they'll
Yeah.
transition all of them eventually. I can see that, but I don't know. Yeah, I was just it's a whole separate theater again, because Dolby became like at this theater became its own theater, and on the outside is big Dolby, and it has like a
Yeah,
unique
we have
looking
those.
entrance to the theater by
Yeah.
comparison. Yeah, so I'm sure
I
Laser's kind of the same way, but
I think IMAX is really cool. I just don't get why no fucking IMAX theaters have goddamn reclinable seats. Every theater by me has normal seats, like reclinable seats for every theater in their building, and the one IMAX theater just has normal seats. Why?
mm, I don't know. I have no idea if this theater IMAX has recliner seats now or anything. I don't think it does. There were a lot of seats. I think
Yeah.
it's just regular seats. No. Oh
And
no.
like what?
I broke my pen.
Oh
Sorry.
wow.
Totally not relevant.
Um, and I've gone to I don't know how, I don't get how claustrophobia works because I don't really feel claustrophobic. I was in a theater with someone who was like, I'm feeling claustrophobic in the IMAX theater. So then whenever I go see movies with them, I can't go into the IMAX theater. I gotta go to the Dolby one, which is fine because the Dolby one's just like wider at our theater. It's like sound
Mm,
and it's wider. So it's
yeah.
like basically IMAX, but
Hmm.
like, but the thing that they were feeling claustrophobic with was like the sound. Like everything was too loud and it was like boom, boom, boom. But isn't that just Dolby? I don't
That's
know.
just Dolby. That's just Dolby. Yeah. IMAX has their own sound systems and stuff, but they're probably older. It's like when you go to an amusement park and you go on like the old for like 3D rides and you get a major migraine headache and you go on the new ones and it's just better because the technology improved over 20 years. So Dolby's like speaker system that they make these theaters use probably, oh, I just spit everywhere. Probably is just newer and better and not as crippling. I don't know because IMAX. I remember IMAX would explode my eardrums, but Dolby had the right balance.
Oh
I haven't
yeah.
seen an
So maybe
IMAX
that's it.
movie since Avengers One. I haven't seen an
Really?
IMAX movie. Yeah, I've seen just Dolby because I lived right by that theater, so I would go to Dolby instead because Dolby was a better experience for me because it also was the only theater in that, or the only screen in the theater that had reclining seats.
We
So
need
I
a report
prefer it.
next week
I'm not going to laser. Oh, you on the
on
IMAX?
the
Yeah, I can do
IMAX.
that
Yeah.
IMAX. Yeah. Yeah, I can do a report on the IMAX. I mean, I'm gonna be talking about this movie probably. I mean, it still has like a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes or something after actual releasing. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I'll probably do what you're doing with Cocaine Bear for this movie. I'll see it when it comes to
Watch it
streaming.
on a streaming platform. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause
See,
I
I
don't
don't
know
even know
like
which
I
one
don't know.
Cocaine Bear is coming to. D&D is definitely going to one of them though.
Yeah. I don't know like any D&D lore. Like I'm sure it's a good movie either way, but like I'm not like excited for it.
And it's all its own stuff. I don't think there is anything that's like D&D lore. All it is like certain classes have certain abilities, the way that spells work. It's a rule set more so than a story.
Is it people
And you
playing
just
D&D like almost like Jumanji and then they go into the world, or is it just in the world?
well the world so D&D is set up the dungeon master creates the world. You can homebrew, which would be make your own world, which is what I want to do. Like use cities that are like Jack and Daxter's inspired and other things.
Yeah.
Um and but they also have set worlds that you can just use.
No, but
They
I'm
have
saying like in this
adventure.
movie is it like the movie's gonna start, and maybe you don't know this because I don't know if it's been announced, but is the movie gonna start with like kids around a table and then we go into the world and that's what we're seeing? We're seeing the movie of the kids playing the game of the world that they're playing, or are we just in the world for the movie by default?
We're just in the world for the movie. I'm
Oh,
like
okay.
99% sure about that.
Gotcha.
Because they have other Dungeons and Dragons movies that they've done, and it's been just in the world.
Gotcha.
The Dungeons and Dragons itself is just a set of rules that you can build your own world around. So
Okay.
they are just making up. They're probably using stuff from Wizards of the Coast that they've come up with certain adventures before. They're probably using those kinds of towns, names, and stuff like that. But what they're really doing is they're using the rule sets and the move sets and things for thieves and fighters and like the different classes you can be and the different races.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's generally there's generally followed guidelines around the races and like political structures and class structures in the
Mm-hmm.
world. So they probably follow that. I mean, there are things that most DMs and most D&D like worlds will follow. Like half orcs are usually ostracized because they're half orc, and the drow are like the dark elves, which is like what Ken Jeong played in
Mm-hmm.
Community. There's like one exception, which R.A. Salvatore or some author wrote a book about a drow who ended up becoming a hero, but most of them are just evil scumbag pieces of shit. People can still play them and they can try to play the hero, but you have to accept that your dungeon master is going to make it so everyone in every town you go to hates you because they hate the drow because the drow are evil, you know? So you can have like half dragon, like draconic origins, and all these things. It's just a rule structure, and you can do whatever you want around it. That's the beauty of Dungeons and Dragons. You can do anything. Like you can be as whatever your creativity will allow, and whatever your dungeon master will allow you to bend the rules on, which they don't even have to follow the rules if they don't want. They can just make their own rule. That's what it's all built upon. Don't be so strict in the rules. But for movies, what they're going to do is they're probably going to follow the basic rules. And like thieves can do this, they'll
Yeah,
have this certain ability and they'll be good at this. Bards do this, and whatever.
gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, I'll probably see it eventually. Unless I hear like, oh my god, this is the best movie of the decade. You need to go to theaters right now. Then maybe I'll go.
Oh, I'll report back to you.
All right.
I honestly think I'm gonna like this a lot. I do think I probably end up liking John Wick 4. It's just John Wick is just a good fucking time.
Yeah.
I don't even know I don't even know how to it'd be really tough to compare those two movies.
Yeah.
But I would probably just enjoy John Wick is just more adrenaline probably. And D&D is gonna be more normal movie, funny. I enjoy my experience. But John Wick is like you're just like on the edge of your seat
Yeah.
the whole time that the movie's happening. That's before Lance Reddick comes on screen.
Yeah. And then he comes
And you
on
have
screen.
a
You're like,
single
holy
tear roll
shit.
down your cheek because you remember all the good times.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Tragic.
But also John Wick. I also really want to see John Wick because John Wick's universe, they're doing all the right moves. Anna de Armas in any project is a win, especially when it's one where she uses like kung fu.
Yeah.
She was in the new James Bond, the newest or the most recent James Bond. I wouldn't say newest. And I would rather see a movie about her character than another James Bond, unless that James Bond is Henry Cavill. All the disclaimers. No, I'm just even if Henry Cavill is the next James Bond, I think I would rather see a movie centered around Anna de Armas's character. She seemed way funnier, way more badass than Bond, like way more physically skilled. So every movie where she kicks ass is a win, and I'm looking forward to Ballerina a lot. I know that they
Is she
basically
in
just
this
started
movie?
shooting. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a spin-off, entirely spin-off where we never even saw this character, but same world, or spin-off like
Well, we've seen the place where the ballerinas are trained.
Yeah.
I think in the first movie, either first or second movie.
I think the second, because I
We
don't remember
saw
seeing that in the first.
second, yeah. Second makes sense because the first one he doesn't really get back involved in the world.
Yeah,
He's just going on his murderous rampage, and then in 2 he's back in the shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, in 2 we saw the woman who trains the ballerinas, and we saw he goes there.
Yeah.
She's part of one of the higher ups in this world of underground society murdering people. Which, based on the John Wick movies, you would think that every other person you walk past is some sort of assassin.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine with me as long as I get to also be one of the assassins. So yeah, just excited for it. I don't even know where we started with that.
Me neither.
I don't know where we started with that.
What you want to do next? We're at 43 minutes.
Let's do big shift. Let's do the One Punch Man. Switch from John Wick to One Punch Man. I just want to talk about. I also want to talk about the recent manga stuff. Are you up to be on Black Clover too? We could probably talk.
No,
about that.
I've been I told you I haven't read anything. I've been on the chapter of Black Clover where they just did the underwater temple, and then I've been on the first page of chapter 75 for like 2 weeks. It's when the Diamond Kingdom's invading or whatever for like a chapter.
I thought you had caught up, dude. Crazy shit's happening right now. I hate you for not being caught up. Fine, we'll talk about that. But you're on One Punch Man.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about some manga goings on. I can't remember. And then we talked about One Piece. I think did we talk about One Piece on the last pod or just after it?
No,
we're fucking confused.
Yeah.
On it. Yeah.
Well, no, both. I think we only really talked about because you weren't caught up that kid got one shot.
Yeah, I did read. I read that right after.
Yeah.
That was crazy, and it's all because Shanks saw a dismal future.
Yeah.
Where most of his weakling crew got bodied by one attack from Kid.
Yeah.
I don't like that Kid got one shot by Shanks though. Mostly because Shanks seems like he's so much in such a higher league than Kaido and Big Mom ever were.
I almost wish that not even I don't even care about the one shot. I just wish like maybe he like got surprised for a split second and changed his original attack to something else to accommodate for that. Like just make him not seem like a god himself.
Yeah, and then I did like them bringing back the giants.
Yeah.
The 2 giants that are from the very first giants we saw. Because if they, even though I would love to see if Shanks is planning on having them as part of his crew or whatever. Or like I don't even know. I don't even know how they relate to Shanks's crew. To be honest, I don't
Yeah.
understand. Wait, like I know they were at Elbath. They
Mm-hmm.
were at the Giants' island, but I don't understand if the Giants were attacking Shanks and Kid, or if they were just
No, I
attacking
think they're homies
Kid.
with
Or
Shanks.
okay, yeah. So I would hope it would be so funny if Shanks is kind of relying on them when he has to eventually, fight Luffy. Who knows if he actually fights him when he
Mm-hmm.
ends up going toe to toe with Luffy in battle for some reason, and they're just like, oh no, we like this guy, we like this crew,
Um.
we've experienced these guys.
Also, it's not slight tangent, but slight off topic. I think that our next so I don't know if like I'm still watching freaking that one place Modern Family, and I know you are too, but I think the next thing that we should watch and review, but it'll be a watch and review for you and a rewatch and review for me, is Fairy Tale.
Yeah, isn't that a lot? How many episodes is that?
It's a lot, but we could just do it. We could take it arc by arc.
Arc by arc, Jesus Christ.
No,
Well,
or
I'll
like
just
no, like there's some like intro arcs are like short as shit. So we'll like
yeah,
bunch those together.
okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. That's something I've always wanted to watch, and I see stuff about it all the time. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we could do
Because
that one.
I've been itching to rewatch it. Like
Yeah,
the first 3 arcs are the first 10 episodes. Easy.
yeah. Something made me want to. Honestly, playing like the Hogwarts Legacy makes me want to reread the Harry Potter books a lot and dive further into the lore and stuff. So I'm getting those itches
Mm,
more frequently now with some of the stuff that's coming out.
yeah.
Not just games, but even like even just news about things. I'm finding Yu Yu Hakusho shirts in Target, and
I
I'm
want
thinking
to.
to myself, "Fuck, I want to rewatch Yu Yu
Yu
Hakusho."
Hakusho's freaking good, and they just released like an OVA or something.
Yeah, the 25-year anniversary
Yeah.
one, I think. Yeah. Um, but
But
yeah, we can
anyways,
do that one.
yeah.
That can be it. But anyway,
One
I said
Punch
One
Man.
Punch Man, then we started about one. We talked about One Piece instead. That's the real surprise. That's the curveball. All the topics that we say, we just don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so One Punch Man, I just want to say that where we are in One Punch Man right now, which obviously like spoiler alert all the time. I really wish we could have named this goddamn podcast spoiler alert, but there's other podcasts named
Yeah.
that, multiple podcasts named that already. So fuck that. Um, I think, especially with what's happening now, thank God that the season 2 catastrophe of One Punch Man anime did not derail it 100%, and season 3 is back
Yeah.
on
Because I
because
want to see
I
this.
desperately want to see what has happened in the manga from then onward adapted.
Yeah.
Not even what's gonna be in season 3. I want to see what season 4 and season 5 are gonna look like.
Yeah.
Season 3, I think, is gonna be also mediocre because it's still in the time period where Saitama's just not in the fucking manga. But it deep dives into like S class heroes. But what just happened now is finally people are recognizing S class heroes and the powers of the world are realizing that Saitama is the force to be reckoned with. Probably
Yeah.
they're coming to terms with it, and now he super duper major spoiler alert. Do not continue if you want to read the One Punch Man manga or you want to wait for this to happen. But he ends up getting into an altercation. Saitama gets in an altercation with Tornado, the
Who's
number
yeah,
2
number 2.
hero in the world, and we've seen Blast. Who knows if Blast could even hold his own against Tornado at this point? I don't understand Blast's powers
Yeah.
super well. He just seems like he's extra dimensional. But Tatsumaki versus Saitama that should be 2 full episodes of the anime, and it should be movie quality
It should
fighting.
just be a movie.
It should just be its own movie. It should be. She doesn't understand. She doesn't know who he is and stuff. She's throwing all of her psychic power at him. And at one point, I'll just summarize it with this. She tries to launch him into space and he floats an inch off the ground. And you see like total pain on her face. And she's like, my God, he's heavy.
Yeah.
That is the amount of telekinetic power it takes to move Saitama an inch. He is just crazy. And he's just taking everything she throws at him. And she does not understand why. And then like Blizzard comes and is going to attack her people and stuff. And Saitama gets through to Tornado, the biggest brat in the entire Hero Association, basically. he gets through to her because he is just that awesome. And I mean, one of the panels is just she's throwing mountains and she's creating hurricanes and stuff right on top of Saitama all at the same time, and he just throws one fist in the air and punches his way out and
Mm-hmm.
has no scratches on it. He's like, "Are you done throwing your tantrum yet?" Like, oh, it's so good. I just can't wait to see it animated.
Gonna be
It
like
better stick
2030.
with a good studio. It like season 3 better not be a good studio, and then they're like, "Hey, we're not that interested in One Punch Man anymore." Fuck that.
Well,
Sign them
season
up
one
for
was good.
multiple
Season
seasons.
two was fine. People say it's bad. I think it was fine.
I think
So
season 2 is fine, but I definitely think the animation is a little worse.
yeah.
Watching them back to back, even though season 1 is older by a few years,
Mm-hmm.
the season 2 animation choices they made, especially with like the huge centipede guy, Sento Akia, whatever the fuck his name is.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they tried to sprinkle in CGI or something and
Yeah.
not well.
Yeah,
So I
sometimes
just didn't
CGI
like those
works
choices.
in anime. Like Chainsaw Man uses CGI, and I thought it was such a bad decision, and then it like
It
works
works.
very well for Chainsaw.
It works, and I mean, obviously, Dragon Ball Super is
Yeah.
the thing that proved to people that it works, and
Oh yeah,
Trigun Stampede,
superhero. Yeah.
Trigun Stampede
You still
is
watch the movie, right?
CGI. Hmm?
You still watch the movie?
I think it comes out on Crunchyroll in April or something. So I think it's this month it comes out.
Oh yeah.
So I do have to still watch it. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff from
Yeah.
Dokkan.
You already know what
I'm playing
happens,
Dokkan.
basically.
I know what happens, basically. Yeah. I still want to see it.
Yeah,
I still want to see it done in the actual movie instead of on my phone screen
Yeah.
using Dokkan animation. And then, but yeah, I mean, I just don't want to also shift studios too much. Most animes don't shift studios, and when they do,
I don't, and like you should know
it's
it's a
too
freaking
shocking.
gold mine. One Punch Man. Like
I know. I think now that I feel like when season 2 was coming out is when the artist, the guy that's doing the actual One Punch Man for Shonen Jump, not the original thing, was on his hiatus where he was doing like a personal project and he didn't release an issue for like 4 months or something. Maybe they thought the series was going to be dead, and then he came back in full force, and now released 3 in the last like 4 weeks, which is shocking. I think normally it's 1 every 3 to 4 weeks, but some of the issues are just like 70 pages.
Yeah.
And even before this, him versus Garo, when Garo first starts attacking him, and Garo is like just baffled by the fact that he can destroy a whole volcano or a whole mountain with one punch, and Saitama just has 0 damage done to his body, and he's like, he's stronger than a fucking mountain. But yeah, he's stronger than a fucking universe, it seems like. And when they get launched into space and all this, and Saitama gets actually angry and goes serious mode, I can't wait to see that animated. That better stick with a good studio.
Yeah.
And if you're a bad studio, hire good people as soon as you win the One Punch Man contract.
Yeah.
Because I will never forgive you if you don't. I feel like there was another manga thing I wanted to talk about. I cannot remember it.
Wasn't
I'm up to date on Chainsaw Man, but Black Clover, yeah, I can't really talk about it. I mean, it was Black Clover, but because there's just cool stuff happening.
Weird.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man's kind of
But
gone
it's
off the rails,
always
but
weird.
in a good way.
Yeah.
I think it's in a good way because I think the payoff will. I trust that the payoff will be good. What the?
I love new Makima.
Oh, My Hero.
Oh, I didn't read. I saw that one came out today. I didn't read it yet.
Yeah, it's not just today's. Today's is just okay. Today they're basically like, hey, reporters are still reporting on this stuff. We're going to show them that Japan isn't totally dead and sunk into the ocean yet or something. And it wasn't. It was like a non-issue. It's issues like this that make me think maybe the manga won't end.
I know, like,
all
what
that
are you
soon.
Doing, dude? Just end it. It needs.
I don't want to just end it. Take your time. I would rather the opposite of Naruto than what happened in Naruto. I would rather, and instead of rushing through and glossing over major things that are going to impact the entire future of the universe and not make me want to watch My Hero Academia 2, All Might's Return, or whatever the fuck they're going to do, right? I would rather have more. I would rather have this fluff. I'm fine with that. I just don't want. I don't want major plot points to happen. 4 major plot points to happen in one issue, and explanations of people's abilities or explanations of how things happen to just get thrown under the rug. Like what's happening with Bakugo. I want to see the resolution of that, and I want to know what happened. I don't want him to just all of a sudden here he is.
Not
I
bad game.
assume, yeah.
That shit's
I can't tell
freaking
what
weird.
how much time has passed for this fight
Yeah.
because like 10 issues ago, Izuku's like, I have a 5-minute time limit on
I
this,
know.
and then I lose if I don't finish this in 5 minutes. And it's like that was 10 issues ago, and then they switch to different fights. You don't know if that started in the past or if it's the exact same time.
Yeah.
It's very hard to keep track of. I mean, that is true in a lot of the manga we read, but
Hmm.
like One Piece right now is just like I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I need to watch like a
It's always
recap
like that in
video when it
Chainsaw
comes
Man.
out. Yeah.
It's always like that in Chainsaw Man,
People
but
are
it
out here
doesn't
in
matter.
Chainsaw Man jumping off of buildings and shit. There's a devil who can take her head off. I don't know what the hell's going on.
And I don't and then it says, "Oh, it's it's a merger of the human and this other devil," and it's like, "No, it's not."
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. We saw these two. These are two separate entities. I'm so confused about what's happening. So I don't know. I just get really into it though.
Hmm.
What was another? I feel like did I read it last night or this morning or something? Oh, what's another one that I'm current on?
I'm very behind on Kaiju. Not very behind, but behind on Kaiju number
Kaiju.
8.
Yes, that was it. Kaiju is getting really good also.
Okay, I'll
A
catch back up.
lot of these anime or manga, I keep fucking it up. A lot of these manga are all having big battles at the same time, and I love it. I fucking love it. All the ones I'm current on have high octane issues releasing like week after week. There's no story random BS except for like My Hero, whatever. Yeah, the Kaiju number 8 issue just now was oh, it really got me going. Got my adrenaline pumping. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit, which is rare. But an anime does it, a manga not so much, unless
Hmm.
I'm reading all 300 issues at once, and I'm just like really into it.
Also, apparently, one of my friends sent me a message on Discord. It's Zach who made the intro. Um, he said he's reading Hunter x Hunter right now, and apparently they're having stands in Hunter x Hunter now. He sent me like
Really?
this manga panel where it was talking about like how like you meditate and then like this spirit comes from your body and protects you or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's probably something with Nen's stands now.
Yeah, yeah.
Nen
Nen.
was
It
always
seems like
weird
you
to
can
me
do
though.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to me that Nen is what the guy wanted Yu Yu Hakusho to be, but he
Yeah.
was just limited by his like he could not conceptualize it fully at the time, and he had to make something. So he went with the spirit powers and abilities, and Nen is the much more fleshed out version of it. And he wanted I wonder what Yu Yu Hakusho would look like if he had Nen conceptualized at the time. He was kind of getting there over the course of it too, as more and more powerful people came in and they got different powers. Like thinking of the previous spirit detective guy from the second arc or the third arc or whatever after the Dark Tournament, um, where him and his cohorts have just really unique, weird abilities. It feels like that's really where he started coming up with how he wanted Nen to be. Everyone has unique powers. Because Spirit Gun, multiple people use Spirit Gun. I can't think of a person who uses rock paper punch or like other than Gon and like all these other abilities. They might use and they might combine their abilities in different ways, but for the most part they're the same. Except for Croyo, who copies his Nen is copying other people's Nen or whatever. Those people are always the ridiculously OP people in the world. The ones who can copy other people's abilities. What's weird is that in My Hero, the guy who has the copy quirk is not all that great.
Yeah.
It's maybe the one manga where the person with the copy quirk is not the evil supreme being of the universe or just crazy OP and everyone wants him on their side. So, I mean, right now he's basically relegated to someone can't use his power, so I have to touch him the whole time and just use that power for him. He's just like a
Like
grunt.
it's like 3 people on that one team, one to keep his eyes moist, one to copy the power, one to use the power.
Yeah. And actually I just finished watching season 6 of My Hero. So since we're on My Hero and this in general, what I don't understand. So Eri gives Lemillion his powers back. Why does Eri not just rewind uh Aizawa?
They haven't thought of that yet.
I bet that well, I mean they must have thought of it, but maybe he just didn't want to be. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know why you don't rewind him. I also get her to touch Kurogiri. Rewind him to before Nomu and make him your friend again.
Oh yeah. Maybe
Her
that is
power
what's
is
gonna
just
happen.
so broken. Her power is just so broken. I really feel like she's gonna do it for Chizaki because he was in season 6, like the part where him and Lady
Hmm.
Nagant, or however you pronounce it, are around. I really feel like if he does, Izuku's like, if you can be sorry for Eri, then I will bring you to your boss or whatever he does.
Hmm.
I feel like Eri's gonna do it. Either she's gonna rewind the boss to before Chizaki fucked him up, or she's gonna rewind Chizaki and give him his powers back and give him his arms back and let him fix the boss, and he'll be a good guy. It'll be like the Talk No Jutsu kind of
Yeah.
ending. I mean,
Which
but
he
instead
was
of Talk
cool.
No Jutsu, that's he's
I'll
fucking
let him have a
psychotically
redemption
broken.
arc. I hate redemption arcs in pretty much anything. More specifically because like it happens in every single Yakuza game, and I've played so many Yakuza games in a span of time, and I'm just like numb to redemption arcs now. It pisses me the fuck off every time there's a redemption arc. But that would be a cool.
Yeah, I feel like My Hero, the characters actually seem to have earned it.
Yeah. Like what's her face, the sniper girl? Her redemption arc was
Lady
cool.
Nagant.
Yeah.
Lady Nagant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, her arc in general, her fall, and then her redemption via Izuku's like getting through to her, and also Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I like about My Hero Academia is it's not always just Midoriya. Is the reason why you have a redemption. Like Midoriya has very little impact on Endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's Endeavor's whole family that's making him go through his redemption arc or whatever you'd call it. And Nagant, God, I hate when they do these names where I don't know exactly how it would be. I think it's Nagant. How the fuck does OFA
I haven't watched the
or
anime.
AFO? How the fuck did AFO say it? They said it a bunch of times. Ugh, god damn it! But her, the sniper woman, seeing her fall and then having Hawks come in at the end and saying, "I'm not gonna, as your successor, I'm not gonna let you end this way," and stuff. And then he works with her, Aizawa and President Mike going with Kurogiri, which he's not really a redemption arc. He's a fucking Nomu. But other people have a major impact in the world besides just the Naruto of the world.
The problem
Like if
with
Naruto didn't touch your life, you didn't get a redemption arc in Naruto.
Yeah, that was another one that like not pissed me off, but like how the fuck did Kakashi not get through to Obito? Why the fuck was it Naruto who got through to him?
Yeah, that doesn't track very well.
The problem that happens in Yakuza is most of these redemption arcs just happen because like you beat the shit out of them. Like, I'm friends with you now. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel like that used to happen in old school anime also though. Like Yu Yu Hakusho. Like him and Kuwabara have their rivalry, and then
Kuwabara. I fucking hate Kuwabara though. Hiei though.
Yeah,
Hiei's cool as fuck.
Hiei
That's like top.
Best.
That's like top anime characters of all time.
Hiei, I think, is my favorite character in Yu Yu Hakusho. So yeah, I agree. I liked Kurama, but he was a little bit too goody-goody. I really wish that Yoko Kurama was his main personality. Then I think I would like him a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's funny because on the Yu Yu Hakusho shirt I'm talking about, where it makes me want to rewatch it, it's just Yusuke and Hiei. It's not the other two of the main squad.
I think I watched it. That's one of the shows that's awesome dubbed. I don't think I've ever even only seen it once, but I don't think I've seen it subbed when I watched it.
I only watched it dubbed. Also, I've seen like 2 or so episodes with it subbed. I saw they were in the fucking pirated online playlist back when I was in college before you had Crunchyroll as a service even existing.
I'm trying to find Pokemon subbed, all of it, and it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist anywhere. I just want to watch it. I want to just sit down and start to finish watch Pokemon, but there's all these banned episodes in America, and I don't want to switch to subbed for one episode.
Yeah, it's so many episodes.
Yeah.
I feel like now that Ash is done, they're gonna release somewhere in some form the Ash collection.
They need to, but
and
it's like 1,000 episodes.
The whole thing, but it's also probably gonna be like $1,000.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cripplingly expensive, I imagine.
Yeah,
I really hope they just bring it to a fucking streaming service and just put them all in order on a streaming service from release date.
I
don't need it.
I don't want like I think Netflix does like Indigo Plateau's its own series. Diamond and Pearl's Adventure Frontier is his own series. Just make it Pokemon and make those seasons. That's it.
Yeah. The way it's broken out in streaming services for Pokemon specifically is just too chaotic and it's fucking impossible. It's like Baki. It's like the Baki series. There's like 5 or 6 different
cool
ones
and I don't get it.
Very similar. There are 5 or 6 different ones that are named similar, and I have no idea which one's first. I have no idea what order to watch them in and stuff.
Yeah.
Pokemon, I would know what order based on the
Yeah,
games mostly, but it's so hard to find them because you'll miss whole stretches of the story because they don't have everything.
yeah,
Just release everything, including the banned episodes and stuff. And most of them are banned for stupid fucking reasons, and we've loosened restrictions anyway.
yeah.
It's like religious reasons and
One of them is because
the epilepsy
Jinx.
warning
Yeah, there's
seasons,
the epilepsy
the
warning.
cross dressing.
There's James with tits. There's Jinx because Jinx looks like blackface. There's one time Ash dressed up as Orangutan, the orangutan Pokemon, and technically he was in blackface, so that was banned. Um. So yeah, there's a couple, but I just want to watch them, just mainly so I can put on Anime Planet that I watched. I'm not lying.
Yeah,
That's the main
I
thing.
wish that there's gotta be. They really need to release something like that. I don't know which company and studio really controls that at the end of the day, but whoever it is needs to create it and release it. I
Yeah,
don't care
I
because
agree.
I also want to watch it. I mean, some of this stuff more recently got really good apparently,
I know. I
and
want to see
I've
the
just missed
recent.
all of
Yeah.
it.
Also, I was watching a a stream yesterday where he was doing a Pokemon game tier list, and the top of his tier list was Black and White, and I never played, or I like started Black and White, I never finished it,
I was
but
not a huge fan.
I
That's
need to try
surprising to
it.
me.
Yeah,
It's surprising me that that's the top for
I
someone.
know, because I need to see if that's legit. But everyone in the chat was like, "Hell yeah, this is based, this is great," and so
Yeah.
I guess people loved it.
Hmm.
Who was Black and White? Was that Finnegan starter? Brokey? No. No, Black and White was Snivy, Oshawa, and Tepig, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Trying to think what other game they would even be in if it wasn't them.
I think X and Y
Because there
was
was also
Fennekin, Froakie, and
there is also, yeah, I think so. But there is also Black and White 2. I
yeah,
don't
which
remember
is
if the starters were
same.
the
I
same.
think it's
Was it the
same.
same?
Yeah,
Mm. The only direct sequel.
yeah.
Same 2. And like that must have been the start of their downfall. Getting so fucking
My
lazy.
my top is probably my S rank Pokemon is Platinum and
Mhm.
Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Yeah,
Those are
we
probably
definitely
like
agree on the top ranked
my
one.
yeah.
Like my number one is that just third generation. My
No,
favorite
that's
my
fourth.
favorite games. Platinum. What am I thinking
Third
of?
is Emerald,
Emerald.
which is also
Oh, so
would be in
Emerald is
my
mine.
yeah.
But I never had a DS to start, so I never got to play Diamond and Pearl right away. So that's probably why it's
Yeah.
not super
Emerald
high
was my
ranked for
first
me.
Pokemon game. Fun fact.
Yeah.
So that
Or
always
isn't that your
holds.
first LP
No,
also?
my first LP was Leaf Green,
Oh,
and
that's
I
right.
would split up parts based on doing one achievement in the video. So I'd be like, "All right, we got our first Pokemon. See you next time." And then I'd be like, "All right, we got to Route 1. See you next time." I would just do the Brock fight. Like I would do his gym in one part, which was one trainer. I'd end the part, and then I'd do Brock in the next part. I was brain dead.
Genius. Absolute genius. I
I was
don't
like,
know.
"Listen, if people want
I
to
miss
find
it.
the video, then and they just want to know who Brock has, then they don't have to skip around. Right here, first second of the video, you found out.
Very first second, yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people do that on purpose now.
Yeah,
It works. It works. I like the people that do that because when I'm looking up how to solve a puzzle, I don't want to have to scrub through a video like my video length.
yeah.
I like the people that just post a 2-minute video. This is how you solve this puzzle. I appreciate those people. They normally have terrible quality,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't need good quality. I just need to see how you solve the fucking puzzle. And what time are we at?
We are at a minute 9, or I mean an hour 9.
A minute and 9 seconds into this part. Here we go,
What
baby.
the
Let's start. All right. An hour 9.
try
I don't
end?
think we need to do the streaming content, or we can do that another time. It was funny because it would lead directly into it based on. I did not do that on purpose. It's funny
I
that I
know.
asked you what your first LP was, and then
It would have led
so
directly in.
so we're gonna the exact words that were spoken just now will be spoken in the next podcast
Yeah,
so
that'll
that
just
it
be the
flows
intro.
organically.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, I do want to talk about that because I still want to just talk about it.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. It's a cool topic. We'll obviously have more next week though. I'm gonna have at least one movie to talk about, probably two.
yeah,
Uh, and if it's a lot, we could do like a double up recording because we're getting close to me being away for a whole week, so
Oh, right. Yeah,
we
could
could do something like that. But I don't think we're gonna have to. We'll see. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll save the other stuff for the next pod next week
Oh, yeah.
on Dragon Ball Z.
But yeah. So you guys didn't hear it here first. Didn't hear it here last. You heard it here. Dot. Pause. Eventually.
Eventually.